Hey there everyone, welcome to Zach's Game Corner. You know, the other day I was playing the original Super Mario Bros. For the NES and I said to myself, wouldn't it be cool if there were more of these? That's right, today we're talking about series fatigue. Everyone's played a Call of Duty game at some point. Hopefully that point was back in the day before they made a zillion of the godforsaken things. You see, that's just the thing about having a successful series. When a game does well, the developer is going to make more games, and as those games continue to do well, you get the point. But if a company is pumping out blockbuster after blockbuster, there's bound to be a few stinkers in there. That's how we end up with games like this, and, dare I mention it, this. Tons of series have had this happen before, including but not limited to. For this video, I'll mostly be focusing on two game series that I know at least some about, Super Mario and Call of Duty. Despite being at exact opposite ends of the spectrum, these are some of, if not the most popular game series of all time, and they've both experienced some fatigue at one point or another. So first up is Mario. Mario Bros., as well as its successor Super Mario Bros., released in 1985 for the Famicom and the NES. Of course, everyone knows what happened after that. Mario is one of the most iconic fictional characters of all time, and games in the series sell well pretty consistently. Mario made his 3D debut in 1996 with the release of Super Mario 64 for the Nintendo 64. Nintendo then kept Mario in the third dimension until 2006, which saw the release of New Super Mario Bros. For the Nintendo DS. New Super Mario Bros. Was praised by casual players and fans alike, as it was the first 2D Mario game in 14 years. Before its release, the last 2D Mario game was Super Mario Land 2 6 Golden Coins for the Game Boy. I'm sure many of you know what happened to the Super Mario franchise after 2006. The new Super Mario Bros. Series is kind of infamous within the Nintendo community, as all four of the main games in the franchise came out in just 6 years and had very little to offer with each new entry. When Super Mario 3D Land and its successor 3D World released in 2011 and 2013 respectively, the games were praised by many fans, but others thought that they were a little too repetitive and leaned too much on the nature of the 2D games. Nintendo must have realized that the boring and repetitive nature that had come of their 2D games was now creeping into their 3D ones, because after that there wasn't a single mainline Mario game released for 4 years. Nintendo really cleaned up their act in 2017 with the release of Super Mario Odyssey. Aside from being my personal favorite game of all time, it pleased the casual market of the Switch as well as many hardcore fans. And then it happened. In 2019, Nintendo had the audacity to re-release New Super Mario Bros. U on the Nintendo Switch under the title New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe for $60. So at this point, we don't really know where the Super Mario franchise is going, but there's one thing for sure. Fans want more of whatever it was that was in Odyssey. You know, Mario games got pretty repetitive at one point, but at least the games that were somewhat boring still had pretty good level design and were still fun to play through. I mean, it's hard to mess up a simple format like that, right? Call of Duty is a war shooter series published by Activision, and it started all the way back in 2003. But I'm sure you already know what COD is. I mean, 21 games in 16 years, I think anyone on the planet is familiar with the series in at least some way. The original Call of Duty trilogy is regarded as a pretty big success, both monetarily and critically. Even Modern Warfare, the fourth Call of Duty game in the franchise, was a pretty good game. But after that, the series got boring. Black Ops and Black Ops 2 are both quite good games, if a little derivative of each other. Ghosts, it's on the Wii U. That's something. I mean, it's something Black Ops 2 did, but it's something. Continuing, Advanced Warfare released just a year after Ghosts, and, well, it sucked. This game is bad. Then in 2016 came Infinite Warfare, and that was the last straw. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare is the owner of the most disliked trailer on YouTube, and that is for good reason. At this point, COD fans were just tired of the futuristic setting, and when the game itself released, it proved itself to be just another COD game with a futuristic setting. 2017's Call of Duty World War II brought the series back to its roots in the Second World War. It was pretty well received, and although I own it, I haven't played it, but it is definitely in my backlog. And then, Black Ops 4 came. When I saw the logo, and that it said I instead of IV, well, I think we all knew how this game was gonna turn out. Black Ops 4 dropped the story campaign element entirely, which was really the only draw for me. So although I own the game and have played it a bit, well, it's bad. The most recent Call of Duty release is 2019's Call of Duty Modern Warfare. It's technically the fourth Modern Warfare game, but, you know, marketing. I don't personally own the game and I haven't played it, but apparently it's the best, or at least the most unique COD game in years. As far as I've heard, the campaign is solid, the online is fun, and the game itself is just fairly unique, and it's good to return to the Modern Warfare branding. I actually might end up picking this one up eventually if I find it on sale. So just like Mario, the Call of Duty franchise could really go anywhere from here. It might go back to being boring, repetitive crap. They could make COD great again. Or, hell, they might make a 2D platformer. The only way to tell is just to wait. But one thing is for sure, Activision is not going to stop with the yearly releases. I mean, these things sell like hotcakes. Speaking of, I am getting pretty hungry, so I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.